This really is an ADD movie, man. He has too many ideas that he's either trying to cram into this movie or he just thinking of something at the last minute. Oh shit, now this would be cool too.
There's a whole big plot point that comes so late in the movie where I'm like, am I supposed to care about this now?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you're supposed to care about anything in the beginning because it's not really it's not really a story-driven movie. Hey everyone, less than a month left before my night of sit-down comedy back in Chicago at the Lincoln Lodge. We sold out before, let's do it again. Get your tickets by going to doubletoastedchicago.com or scan the QR code right there, and I'll see you soon. All right, y'all, let's talk about these low-class urban bitches. Or at least that's what Demi Moore calls them in this movie. I love boosters. And she is mad because she's got a chain of stores. She's a famous fashion designer. And these black girls going through here and robbing all of her stores and selling her stuff at a cheaper price. And it's funny because she's not afraid to steal from them every now and then. Turns out one of the girls, whose name is Corvette, played by Keke Palmer, she's been given some submissions to Demi Moore's character. And Demi Moore looked at him and said, yeah, none of these ain't good. Sorry, pass. And just one day when she's boosting and sees her design up in the store, and like, all right, it's on now. I mean, I was already stealing your shit, but
yeah.
Now I'm gonna steal more. And that's just the surface right there, because this is directed by the great Boots Riley. This is the man that made a movie about black people having to speak with their white voices at work and eventually being turned into horses. It's also...
That's what happens.
That's what happens
it's
every
kind of
now
a
and then.
documentary, really.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all didn't know that. If a black person uses their white voice enough and code switches enough, they turn into a horse, according to Boots Riley. Also, he also made that show, I'm a Virgo, which was about a 20-foot black kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing is as straightforward and simple as what I just told you. Plus, the man just has a lot to say. And seems to be getting weirder with every project he does. So what about this one? Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for I Love Boosters.
Corvette, you're a raw ass, make it happen, hustler. Give it to me. It's mine anyway.
Yeah, people. We're talking about Boots Riley. He's the director of this movie right here. There he is, looking like the world's silliest pimp right there. Looking like a cross between a court jester and a pimp right there. Bitch, where's my money? Okay, well, where'd he go? But, man, listen. If you know Boots Riley and you've seen his work, it has been, at least for myself, y'all might have observed something different, but for myself, it's getting a little crazy with each project. And this dude is just an ADD kid, man. Mm-hmm. He's an ADD kid with a crazy imagination that cannot be restrained. This is the kid that you leave with a box of crayons and a piece of paper right there, but you better not leave the room, because if you do, you come back. He's colored the walls. Yeah. Drew on the ceiling.
Drew on the cat.
Yeah. Everything is covered. He just graffitied all your shit. Yeah, man. But I tell you, you saw this trailer that we just played. I think it's extremely impressive to see what visions come from his crazy brain. Many people will stick around for 2 hours, because this movie is about 2 hours. They'll stick around just to see what insanity he might conjure up next. Even if you gave up on trying to follow what's going on halfway through. I mean, even I was trying to run behind that crazy car for a while. Halfway through,
I think you fell and just dragged you.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened? Wonder why I felt like I got my ass beat after this movie. Yeah, because for me, I just kind of like, I gave up, man. I gave up trying to try to keep up with this film, trying to figure out where everything was fitting and going on. And others, and this is coming from me, who is a fan of Boots Riley and kind of knows what I'm getting into. Others will find this exhausting. They will find it frustrating. They will even find it annoying. Now, Martin, I didn't know you saw it, but the whole time I was watching, I'm not trying to predict you, man, but the whole time I was thinking, this man's going to hate this. Because I was thinking about you the whole time I was watching this, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, because you should be thinking about the movie.
I can think about hey man, a lot of things go on in the human brain, and you were one of them, man. But you know what? This is what I was thinking about, because I told him, because you're like, everybody think I'm predictable, but I was like, no, I just know you.
Okay.
And you might like it, but I couldn't help but think about you. Now, you remember we were younger? And I always used to show you crazy shit. Do you remember when I used to show you crazy things? I would play weird music for you, and you would look at me and say, away from me. You remember this?
Last week when you showed the Healing Flesh?
Yeah, when we were young, you would never stop doing that.
Hey, you remember 2 days ago? What'd you say I showed?
Healing Flesh last week.
Oh, yeah, I showed you the concert that we went to. Yeah, he took me to a concert. I played that for Martin. Like, if you don't cut this shit off right now. So apparently I'm still doing this today. So that's why I was thinking about you. And I was like, man, if I recommended this to him, he'd come back and take that hat off and beat the shit out of me with it. But, I don't know. You're unpredictable. I don't know.
Well, despite what you might think, people always say, well, what about Sorry to Bother You? Was that too weird for you? I'm like, no, I actually love that movie. I saw it at South by Southwest. And like, what about the end when it gets weird? I was like, I like that even more. So it's not like I'm not indoctrinated to Boots Riley. And yeah, I did see this. It was the opening movie at South by Southwest. And normally I don't even try to see the opening movie, but they did a weird thing where the press badges were platinum badges and I got an express pass and I was excited to be there. Yeah, pretty much I felt about it everything you just said. Probably double that.
Don't you ever criticize me for saying I know you sit up here talking about, don't be thinking about me. You know I was thinking about you.
I found it to be a painful experience. And could not attach to any of it. And I tried. Yeah. Talk about like you say at some point you gave up on trying to follow it. And my problem was I kept trying. And that was me getting dragged. But I mean, I eventually did give up. And I think what pushed it from being frustrating to just painful was just how it kept trying to be funny and wasn't. And I was just like, me, I was so excited to be here. And now this can't end soon enough.
Oh, you know what? Everything you said in my mind when I was watching this movie.
I mean, I didn't want to shoot my wad and get my whole review just now, but since you brought it up.
You mean since I read the future?
Yeah.
But you know what, man? And I don't know how you feel, but I don't blame you. I don't blame you if you feel that way. I don't blame anybody out there if they feel that way. I don't blame anyone if they hate this. Okay. I get it, man. Shit, if you can't tell by what he's wearing, Boots Riley has no focus. Boots Riley has no focus with hats, clothes, or a story. And this really is an ADD movie. And I know you want to say something. Hold on, I'm gonna let you, because I want to hear what you have to say. This really is an ADD movie, man. He has too many ideas that he's either trying to cram into this movie or he just thinking of something at the last minute. Oh shit, now this would be cool too.
There's a whole big plot point that comes so late in the movie where I'm like, am I supposed to care about this now?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you're supposed to care about anything in the beginning, because it's not really a story-driven movie. I mean, no, it's driven. It drives all over the place.
Yeah,
it's leaving donuts all in your yard. It's kind of maybe character-driven, but the characters are just as wild as the imagery
and shallow.
And so, yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I have so much to say that I was waiting for my shot, kind of thing.
Oh,
but
please.
I first ran into Boots Riley when he was signed to Epitaph. Like he had a song released in Punkorama 8, I think, when he was under the Coup. And
his band, The Coup. This was his first hip hop band.
Yeah. And I didn't know until I re-looked into the band that that band has a very tragic history. Like at least 3 or 4 of the members of that band have passed away, usually in violent crimes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Which is weird because this is basically like such a happy
right
art form. But everything that he does is straight out of a punk zine. It is straight out of let's workers' rights, let's be edgy kind of thing. It plays very much to high school me, but it also is kind of like, I don't need to a lecture at 40 over ideas that I was introduced to when I was 16. But I also feel like without those ideas, like I had to explain so many things about this movie to Elijah that I thought were kind of on the nose, but he's like, I don't understand the symbolism behind this. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I'm like, yeah, it's because this movie, like you were saying, it's not character driven. It's not story driven. It's lecture driven. They just want to lecture you on workers' rights over and over and over again, which it's fun, but it also is like, it's a lot for 2 hours.
Yeah. You know, well, it's a lecture done by a crazy person.
Keeps going off theme and then coming back with, also this. Did I bring this up?
Yeah.
It's like, that had nothing to do with everything you just said before, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If your professor came up there dressed like a damn clown and got distracted by imaginary squirrels and butterflies and shit. Now, I'm going to say, you're right. I'm glad you said that, man.
Yeah.
Because he has a lot to say. You know, that's one of the things that's going on here. He has a lot to say, and he's trying to satirize a lot of things. He's trying to talk about capitalism, consumerism, workers' rights, workers' exploitation, wealth inequality, cultural appropriation, political movements. At least I think, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. And, you know, and every scene seems to try to tackle a different theme that doesn't seem connected to like the last scene or two.
Yo,
Oh, shit. What the fuck, dude?
just wanted to see what it's like to be up here.
That's them making a comment about workers' rights a little while ago. They were, you know, making some other comment about, you know, some other theme. You know, like I said, at least I think that's what that's about. You know, because it starts out with girls called the Velvet Team or the Velvet Crew, whatever. It starts out with them robbing stores, and then it eventually turns into demons, shape-shifting, teleportation, and skinless people. Yeah, it's just about as crazy as it sounds. Don't try to sit up here. Don't you dare ask me how these connect. Don't you say those words how or why to me.
Well, it's like a punk zine. They don't connect. It's just images representing the ideas. And it's so heavy-handed. Like, if I can spoil I'm a Virgo, which has been out for a while, they literally end it with a lecture. They end it with a 10-minute lecture for, I don't know, what was it, 8 episodes, 10 episodes? It just doesn't stop. And it doesn't stop in this movie either. There's lectures going on. I mean, there's images going on in the background, having one theme while the story is happening, having another thing in the front.
Yeah, you know, and you know, I get it, man. And like I said, this humor is not going to work for a lot of people. You heard the music in that scene. The music is, everything's kind of wacky. Mm-hmm. When you say it's heavy-handed, it was more heavy-handed for me with some of the style that was going on. But at the same time, I thought some of the satire, it hits. You just heard about the store workers being only allowed 30 seconds for lunch. I like the way that they set that up. I like how the joke is how they're timed for lunch. If you know Boots Riley, I think you understand this probably even more. Because back when he was with the group, you know, the coup, people would now say he was a socially conscious rapper, or is a socially conscious rapper. And, you know, but and a lot of people say, no, he's not just socially conscious. He's not just militant. That dude is an anarchist. You know, he had that album come out where he was, I've shown you this over and over again. That's the band album cover where he was, it's called Party Music. And it has this girl on there that was in his band. I think she's dead right now. I forgot her name, but she's conducting while he's blowing up the Twin Towers with a detonator right there. That came out right before. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It came out about the same time this happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
9/11.
I'm sure the FBI was talking to him every day. Yeah. So they said, you know, this ain't coming out like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was about to come out. And then 9/11 happened. And so, but the guy's not an anarchist. He's a communist and a Marxist.
Yeah, I was about to say he's a communist.
And it's funny because those call for organized movements. But this, you know, he might not be an anarchist, but this movie is full anarchy.
Yeah.
Creative anarchy, whatever you want to call it. It is wild. The lack of focus can be overwhelming because, it's just a barrage of these story ideas. Now, this is why I say I wouldn't get mad at anybody anyway. You know, I'm cool with people disagreeing and whatnot, or we see things differently. But, you know, where you hated it, and I don't know how you feel yet, I think you kind of might be in between at this point, because I was able to forgive it for the art direction. I just sat up there and was just kind of taken in by all of the visuals, the costumes, you know, a lot of things that were going on here. I like that. I was really entertained by that. You know, because even then, that might be a lot for people. That might be a little too much.
It's visually overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like someone took LSD and then went directed an episode of.
And pull yourself up a chair. Let the fun begin. It's time to let down your hair.
That's already crazy, right?
Yeah, but that's like a minute and a half
Yeah.
intro.
Now imagine somebody making a movie of this on LSD for 2 hours.
And when you watch an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, you can follow it pretty easily.
Yeah, it's crazy. That is. Yeah. Yeah. But the costumes, the set designs, I found very inspired, man. You know, some examples I can give for this, you know, Demi Moore lives in a slanted skyscraper. And I like the slapstick in that. It could be silly for some people, but I like the way, you know, it seemed like a throwback to silent film slapstick and physical comedy. You know, to get to the front door was like trying to climb a mountain, man. She gets coffee delivered on a tray, bring it in, the coffee's already sliding across the floor, and the girl who's serving is trying to keep it from going there. You know, some of those things will work for people and some of them they won't, you know, and for me, it worked. I actually like that a lot. In the age of heavy digital effects, this movie may seem even low budget, but I think it's displaying Boots Riley's love of old school mediums and practical effects. You know, like most of the stuff is done with props, miniatures, makeup. There's stop motion that he uses. And he gets to go wild with it because the movie's only $20 million and the stuff he's using, it's not like space effects and stuff like that or creature effects. It's just weird imagery. You know, it's weird stuff with maybe, you know, playing with colors. Like Demi Moore's character, she has her chain of stores. They change colors, monochrome colors every day. So you go in the store one day, it's all green. Another day, you'll go in there and it's all yellow. Some of the stuff that you like, you know, some of the stuff you saw right here. You know, just visually, I enjoyed it, man. I love that he's a hip hop guy and he's not feeling beholden to one genre. I don't have to always represent hip hop. The music in here, which again, and this is another reason why I thought of you. Because the music is crazy. There's the point where somebody's playing a piccolo recorder. It's like, it's like you gave a kid who couldn't play the instrument and he just started just blowing into it and playing it. And so it gets crazy, man. It gets weird. The music is done by this group called Tune Yards, who look crazy themselves. Like, girl, if you don't breathe, please breathe. She's going to start turning blue in a minute. You know,
that's like you told AI to make an image of two hipsters.
Flight of the Conchords, but not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Breathe, bitch, breathe. But yeah, so you see what I'm saying here, man. I think it's I don't think anybody's right or wrong. Of course, that's not the way with any movie, but it just depends on what appeals to you. I guess I'm more of a visual person sometimes, and I admire original creativity.
Oh, so I don't like originality or visuals.
Hey, Reddit, now who's being a bully now? See,
I can read between the lines.
I dare say nothing. This is normally I would say, Martin, don't put words in my mouth, but then everybody goes, man, why you picking on him, man? Y'all need some therapy. And y'all need to go to marriage counseling. Notice I said nothing. I surrender.
You're like an NBA player that just fouled someone.
See, now again, there you go. Reddit, Corey fouled Martin in the movie review. Did you see what he elbowed Martin?
Man, what's those elbows? Do I have to flop?
Yeah, man, you don't know no creativity. Hey everyone, got to give a quick word out to our sponsor, which is Monarch. Monarch is the personal finance app that tracks everything: accounts, investments, savings goals, and spending. It helps you set your goals, map out that big purchase, and you'll see if your finances are actually on track. You'll also get an AI assistant that flags spending spikes, net worth shifts, and upcoming expenses. And you're going to love Monarch's bill split. Just scan the receipt everyone claims they got. No fuss, no confusion. You settle up and no separate app is needed. Even getting started is smart money. If you put in the code TOASTED at monarch.com, you'll get your first year of Monarch Core half off at just $50. I want to thank Monarch for sponsoring the show, and I want to thank all of you out there, as usual, for your support. Man, normally I would be like you. I was like, what's this crazy shit is everywhere? I can't follow this. The story's terrible. I don't know what to make of this. But, I think that I have respect for somebody when somebody's writing a commission script for a studio, or somebody's trying to write something that's trying to be derivative or mimic somebody else, or somebody thinks someone else is so cool and they're trying to do work like them, or somebody just writing a terrible script, because it's so hack and it's so cliche. Those are the things I really hate story for. I think Bruce Riley's just being sincere. This is just the way this fool's crazy mind works. Whatever he's saying, it makes sense to him. And like his stuff or not, the dude's an auteur. He's like David Lynch or Tim Burton, but much more insane. No, I mean that. Like his imagery.
Okay.
Those David Lynch is a very surrealist director. Mm-hmm. Boots Riley is, you can say a lot of things, but the man is surreal.
Okay.
You can be and not be as good.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I think he's good at his own thing. I think the guy, again, agree to disagree. I think y'all, not liking the movie, you're not going to think his work is probably as good as him. I think the guy's an auteur, and I think his visions are original, and I think he's a surrealist director who is right up there with somebody like David Lynch, or like I said, Tim Burton, except Tim Burton is gone, he's a studio director also. This man ain't going to ever be a studio director, I don't think. He's going to be that guy that Marvel gets, and then you're going to read later how he went crazy and they had to kick his ass off the project because he wouldn't listen and was making something that they told him not to make. Anyway, I got more to add, but I don't want to take away from y'all's time, man. Please.
I will say on a positive note, it is a very cool movie to see. It has claymation. The miniatures, those scenes were really well done. So much of it works like under a microscope, where it's just kind of like, that was a really cool scene. I wish it connected to something, so it made me feel something. Mm-hmm. That's about it. But
yeah,
everything he does is like that. That's a visual gag that looks cool, but these characters are just bogged down by the theme of what they want the movie to say. But it's funny because if you don't read any of the material, you're just walking out just being like, I don't know what I watched.
Well, I agree because there's things in there that, okay, this makes for, I'm sure for some people and for Boots Riley, this is a funny gag for him. This is something for me to play with somebody's image and play with makeup and costumes. I wasn't going to say anything about this, but he's in the trailer. They put his name in there. Don Cheadle, not even recognizable.
Right.
It's a funny character, but the subplot of him being this guy who's running a pyramid scheme doesn't really play into the movie. I don't know. I like the cast, man. I don't, again, how much their characters that affect the story, I don't know. But, every character is so wild that they have something weird about them. So you can see the actors having fun with this.
The actors had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was the thing. They had a good Q&A talking about how much fun they had.
And yeah, you can see it, man. They're going in and playing with all this wild imagery. They're dressing up in these crazy costumes and wardrobe, and and they get to improvise a lot. And it's just, you knew that this was a movie where everybody was just having a great time, man. And I really like Keke Palmer, man, because because Keke Palmer is she continues to show. Again, whether you like the movie or not, she continues to show that she's got a lot of versatility, man. She's a singer. She's, did she have a talk show at one time or something?
I don't know about that.
But, I don't know. She's done a lot. And I think she's continuing to show just how talented she is.
Well, she is the driving force of the movie.
Yeah.
And she does a good job with that.
Yeah.
If you care, she's the only reason you care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, people, these are movies with characters. I don't know. I guess this is an exception for me because it's still just so visually crazy, and I love that I enjoyed seeing what the characters were going to, what they were going to be wearing, and what they were going to be, what setting they were going to put them in, what sort of creative vision they would have for these characters. That's why I enjoyed them, I guess. I mean, because there's a lot of costume changes in here. Those costumes are great. They have a whole montage with costume changes, man. And I really like that. The miniatures you were talking about, I thought were cool in this. Yeah,
$20 million budget, $4 million is probably just costumes.
Yeah, shit, $4 million probably went to Demi Moore. Who knows, man?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It depends on what you're going in looking for, and I can't blame anybody for hating this. I don't even know who I would recommend this to, but I don't know. What you can go and wrap up. We can all start wrapping up here.
I don't think I can recommend this. It's the same problem I had with I'm a Virgo, kind of, where it's just kind of, at least I'm a Virgo, you care about the main character. You don't really, they try to talk about their motivations, but they're talking about it so loud because it's never shown. Like, movie-wise, this isn't good. But it's the only place you're going to see these visuals. No one else is going to make a movie like this at all. I mean, I would probably give it a low matinee, just because it's the only way you're going to see some of this stuff ever.
Yeah, I thought you disliked this, man.
No, I don't dislike it. It's just, as a movie, it's not great, but it's also, like, it's fun to watch. It's fun to see some of the things that I grew up with make it to the big screen, because, like, Boots Riley, I think, the Coup was even playing a small stage when I saw him at Warped Tour. Like,
really?
They were a small band. It's weird to see, oh, I saw that dude in 2002. Now he's here. Wow.
Yeah, directing movies with A-list stars. Yeah. So, some low bullshit.
Well, just from everything he said. But yeah, so many of the positive things that you bring up about it, they kind of inverse for me, in as much as I like the cast, but I hate what's done with them and what's written for them. The colors and costumes are cool, but they're mostly just gags, and they bounce in and out so much that they lose any kind of potency they have. Boots Riley, if this was his first movie, I would be a bit more forgiving. Like, well, you know what? He swung for the fences and did what he wanted to do. But I saw his last movie, which I liked. So I know he can do something that's coherent. And this, he's turned loose to do whatever he wanted. And that's cool for him. It's not cool for me. Yeah, I like I said, the movie was frustrating and in a way just kind of boring, in it, as much as, man, there's just no good writing here, and there's nothing to attach myself to. And just a little bit I could have rode with it, but yeah, it was a frustrating headache of a movie. And it's some old bullshit.
Yeah. I'm on the opposite end of that one with you, man. Which, again, I understand. I can't blame you for not liking what pretty much a lot of disjointed ideas. But like I said, man, if I had to break this on creativity, I would be the guy that would give this a better than sex if it was just based on creativity alone. But for story, I do wish there was more restraint for this. But again, I don't want this guy restrained. I do like that this is one of the most original filmmakers that's working right now, and working with big actors. So I hope he never goes mainstream. Shit, and they won't let him go mainstream. Nobody trying to mess with him.
I'm actually really surprised he got an Amazon Prime show.
Yeah, but I think that Boots Riley is a guy that's with what he's doing right now. This is, if nothing else, this is cult audience material right here. So he has his followers, and at this moment, I would probably consider myself one of them, man. Like I said, I just respect the creativity behind it, man. It's perfect time to say, you do you, brother. You got my support on it. Although I understand for those who cannot be along with that, because this is such you have such a different way of thinking. So yeah, I would give this not a low matinee, but I would give it a high matinee. I really enjoyed it, and I'm scared about that project that he'll do, where I'm gonna be like you, man. Like, okay, I don't know what the hell to do with this, but at this point, I'm still on board, man. I guess I'm just even when it's weird or it's all over the place, I just really love unique visions, and I think there's a lot of work that went into the creativity, at least the visual creativity behind the production, all the art direction here and all the production. So yeah, high matinee for me. There you go. Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon, where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.